It is about 9 o'clock now. I got Selena down for the night now, and Mike is already asleep. He fell asleep in the car on the way home. So he's just been tired, and he has to go to work tomorrow morning at 3, I think. So yeah. But anyways, let's talk about what this video is about. My dad and his kidney transplant 9 years ago. And please let me know if you have similar story to mine or any kind of transplant story that you would like to share. I would like this to be an open community, and you know, we could share our experiences and everything. I'm gonna try to condense the story, but I tend to ramble when I'm just talking freely sometimes. So yeah, so 9 years ago, Halloween, that's when my dad got the call that they had found a kidney for him. He had at that point been on dialysis for about, God, I don't know, 7 years or so. Also, side note really quick, if you hear the hum, sorry, it's my wine cooler that's right there. I don't know why it keeps humming. 9 years ago, my dad got the call. I was at my sister's house. We were getting ready to go out for Halloween because, you know, that's what we did back then. We don't do that anymore, but so yeah, we were getting ready. It was my sister and my brother-in-law, and it was me and Mike and some of my brother-in-law's brother, his brother, and his wife, something like that. There was like several couples there, and so we were just hanging out, and we were having some drinks and some snacks or whatever, and we, you know, were getting ready to go out. And like I said, my dad called. He had been on dialysis for a long time at this point. He was actually thinking about going into Wisconsin and seeing if he could get on that transplant list, because he had heard that the Wisconsin transplant list goes faster than the Illinois one. I don't know if that's true, but that's what he had heard at the time. Again, this was almost 10 years ago, so who knows how it is now, but that's what he had heard. So we were getting a little restless on, you know, getting his kidney transplant, because, you know, dialysis is not fun at all. You know, it was really hard for me to see my dad like that. He at first went to dialysis where they hooked him up to a machine, and the machine cleaned his blood basically, and then after that they put a kind of like a tube or catheter, you want to say, with a little machine in his body, and he was able to you know, with some solutions and stuff like that, just do at-home dialysis, and that was good for a few years. And then after that he got an infection, and the whole, you know, machine and tubing in him really got infected, and he was not able to keep going with that method of dialysis because he had way too much scar tissue damage from the infection. So then he went back to, you know, dialysis at the clinic, and it was just like really hard on him the second time. And you know, he was always a trooper. You know, he always said, like, if this is what I have to do. I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm not gonna die, kind of thing. He always had that mentality of, I'm not gonna give up hope of, you know, having a transplant one day. So he never lost hope that one day he would get his kidney, and thank God he did 9 years ago. So again, we were at my sister's house, and my dad calls me, and he was like, where are you? Where are you guys? What are you guys doing? And I was just like, oh, I'm at my sister's house, and, we're getting ready to go out. I was like, what's going on? Are you okay? And he said, yeah, I'm fine. They just called me from the hospital saying that they found me a kidney and that I need to go in tomorrow. I think it was 4 or 5 in the morning, to prep for surgery. Now at this point, it might have been maybe like 7 or 8 at night on Halloween. And I just started bawling, like bawling. I was bawling my eyes out. And my dad was very like cool and calm about it. Like, okay, I finally got my kidney. But it was just like very like, yeah, I got my kidney. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow at the hospital. And I was just like, what? Like, Daddy, like this is such a like momentous moment. And so I was just bawling, and my sister's like, what's going on? What did Daddy say? Why are you crying? What's going on? And I collected myself for a minute, and I told her like what my dad had said. And so then she started bawling, and we were just both bawling. So then Mike and my brother-in-law were like, what is going on? Because we had this whole conversation in Spanish with my dad and my sister, and so they didn't understand what was happening. And so like when we told them, like, oh, sorry, you're not going to work tomorrow, because at that point they were just gonna go to work. I mean, they didn't work that early, so they were just gonna go in to work. And I'm just like, nope, sorry, now you guys gotta call in, like, you're not going to work, And so they did. They called in, and we still went out that night, and we celebrated, and we had a good time celebrating Halloween and celebrating that my dad finally, was getting a kidney. And so the next day we met at the hospital, and they prepped him for surgery, and we were all praying and, making sure, he was comfortable, and he was all, we were surrounding him before the surgery, and, we had the best one of the best surgeons, I need to stop saying, one of the best surgeons in the city, in the city of Chicago for transplant surgeries. And he had a good record, and that's why he had been going there. Obviously, they prepped him for surgery through. They had been prepping him for surgery because, months and weeks before, they had already told him that he was moving up the transplant list, and they were gonna start getting his body ready and making sure that everything was okay in his body, for this major surgery that was, coming up. And so they had checked all his body parts, ran a bunch of blood tests, and did a stress test on him, and exercise tests, and all this testing on him to making sure his body was able to handle the 7-8 hour surgery that he was gonna embark on. And thankfully everything turned out okay except for his heart. He did have some valve issues with his heart that they did have to do a surgery on for his heart. And that was another scary moment for us because he was having heart surgery. Like, it's just so scary. But again, one of the best teams in the city of Chicago, and he was fine. The recovery was really, really hard on him. It hurt a lot, obviously, because they opened his rib cage to get to his heart, but he was fine, and he recovered well and quickly, so that was good. So his body was ready to have this major surgery, and it did take a long time to get the kidney in and everything going, and the surgery was very, very, very long. So we were at the hospital all day, and we waited and we waited, and they were telling us updates on his condition. And the surgery went perfectly well. It was a long surgery, like I said, but he did very well, and there was no complications or anything for his kidney transplant surgery. And he was in the hospital recovering for a week or so after his surgery, and they were making sure that his excuse me, they were making sure that he was still getting all his medication, and his kidney was working, and his new kidney was working, and everything like that. Running again a bunch of tests, and getting him all this new medication to make sure his body didn't reject the new kidney that he still takes to this day, actually, to make sure that his body is accepting the kidney, and the kidney is working the way a kidney should work. So I rambled on for almost 11 minutes now. 12 minutes actually now. But yeah, that's the story. Thank God, like I said earlier, he has not had another kidney transplant since then. His body, thank God, has not rejected the kidney that they put in him 9 years ago, and he is still taking all his medications, and he is healthy and thriving, and he is the best thing in the world, basically. And I am just so thankful that everything worked out, because it was really scary in the beginning when he had his kidney failures and he got put on dialysis, and it was really hard on us, but we were always there for him. He has always been there for us, and even to this day, anything I need, or I could ask him anything about the girls, or even my sisters with her kids, anything we need from him, he will be there. He is retired now. He did work after his transplant for a while, but now he retired about 2.5 years ago, I want to say. And so since then, he's been taking care of the girls, as you guys know, since you've seen in the videos that my dad takes care of the girls. And we did live there last year before the house was built. It wasn't last year, it was the year before that now, because we've been living in this house for a year now. God, time goes by way too fast. But anyways, he always welcomes anybody with open arms. He is the most giving person in the world, and he is always there for us no matter what. And so that's why I'm just so thankful that God was able to give him this chance to keep living, because it got scary in some points during this process. But thank God he is okay. Like I said, he's thriving, and we just love him so much. I think that's it. Please like, comment, and share, and let me know your experiences if you guys are so inclined to share with me. And thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it.